Portugal. There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, the live stream, the podcast, and of course the Portugal Club, where we'll go and take a look at, I think it's question 31 possibly this morning, of the Portuguese citizenship test. Great job last night, Ben Austin, Marion Purcell from the agency in Villamora, and Sarah Spartan Effect, Sarah popping in for the all-new Find Your Home in Portugal show with me and Ben Austin every Monday evening, unless it's the Wine Club, which is the first Monday of the month. How are you doing this morning? I feel great, I have to say. Morning to you, Sarah, and morning to you, Mel. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, on YouTube, and X. Now, yesterday, when T-Duck shows up, I have to thank him for reposting us on X, which gave us quite an uplift. It's a mixed bag, mixed blessing, I guess, getting a little bit of uplift on X because it's quite a trolley atmosphere. I actually find it quite useful. If you carefully curate your news sources there, it can be quite good. It's definitely an echo chamber, no question about that. But not an unpleasant experience if you get it right. A horrific experience if you don't. Quite frankly, at times there's a lot of negative and very angry people on X, it would appear. I'm already having a great morning. I had an option to turn off all OneDrive notifications. I didn't realize I could do that. It's only been 3, 5, 7 years. I've finally switched off that reminder that I think I get every time I turn on my laptop, asking me to sign into OneDrive. So, to you, OneDrive, I think we've seen the back of you and your constant attempts for approval. Right, a little bit of slow and steady start to the day, arguably still to the week here. Terça-feira, the 14th of October, 2025. Let me know how you're doing. It does look like a slow start this morning. Matty's in. Bom dia, alegria a todos. E feliz terça-feira. How's it going with the Portuguese, everybody? Are you practicing every day? Have you learnt a new word or phrase? Don't forget, we've got that over on the Portugal Club. Useful words and phrases. As well as pop in Portuguese, mate. Every little bit helps. So we put little bits up from time to time that will help you just incrementally building up your Portuguese, which is, I think, how we've learned our native language like that, didn't we? As slow and steady wins that race a little and often. And it's never done. It's never finished. Subscription tiers. What's this over on School? Okay. The School platform doing great. And that's where we're going to go in a moment to do today's Portuguese citizenship test question. I think it is. I think it's 31 today. Oh, and as well, if I open up WhatsApp, a bit of a late night last night, rearranging the homestead. Quite exciting. There's a renewed energy here. Good to hear from you as well, David Mapley. Morning to you, Mama Bear. Lots of love to you. Thank you for your message this morning as well. David Mapley. good to see you. And now, what was this that I saw? Oh, yeah, I'm clicking in the wrong place. Yes, the 300 Days of Sunshine thing. There's something new in on that. There's the new EU bank transfer rules that are in effect in the EU. I think, are they generally good news, possibly, over there? The new EU bank transfer rules in effect. We'll take a look at a few news stories this morning. If something's caught your eye, do let me know. Bon dia, Malta, from the aforementioned Ben Austin as well. And Henry's here. Bon dia, Carlos. Yeah, if there's anything you've seen in the news, do let me know if you'd like me to mention it and for us to have a bit of a deeper dive into that. I have filed my story for my article. I fall into that trap myself of talking about news stories. These are things that happen to real people, aren't they? In their lives, they're not stories. I guess they're stories to other people, and with all the interpretation that goes on. Where was I going with that? Oh, Revolut are open for business, aren't they? Got a little bit of video footage from hanging out with Bobby on Friday as well. We'll squeeze that into the show. Yeah, and Portugal Weekly, that came through as well. We might have a look at that too. Thank you very much to George Branco, of course, over at the Portugal Weekly. Big win for PSD in local elections. Chega falls short. Minimalist budget, that was happening as well, whilst everybody's attention was on the local elections. So I might read that bit. I think we know what happened in the election now, don't we? There seemed to be a lot of PS Socialist Party support and a little bit of a renaissance for them after coming third in the general election, but basically a big win for PSD and disappointment for Chega. Immigration crackdown sent to president. I think we should have a look at that as well this morning in our Portugal news roundup. I'm drinking tea from a lovely new mug that I bought for Mrs. I'm going to size that bad boy. And if you look closely, it's got a heart on it. I don't want to be spilling my tea over the keyboard, but I saw it in a shop window. This company, very beautiful, came in this lovely box. It's a handmade cup. I think I have drunk tea from a handmade cup before, but I really like the look of this. It's a handgefertigte Tasse. Is that German, Matty, or is it Danish? Or yes, German, but made in Portugal. Our beautiful earthenware, does that say? Why, when there's so much space on that box, does the writing have to be so darn small? Our beautiful stoneware cups, okay, got the focal length right now, are lovingly handcrafted in a small pottery in Portugal. The shape and the glaze make it an absolute collector's item. Well, I fell in love with it as I walked past the window. I thought that would be nice for Mrs. M. And I find myself drinking out of it quite a lot myself. The company, if you want to get one for yourself, is Eulenschnitt. Eulenschnitt. There you go. Eulenschnitt, if in Portuguese, perhaps. Right. Where were we? I interrupted myself so many times then that I barely know where I am now. I think we should do the Portugal citizenship question. Yesterday, of course, we got to question 30, and there was a certainty among our guests yesterday. Which city is known as the birthplace of Portugal? Is it Guimarães, Lisbon, or Porto? Most people seem to know that. Guimarães, you might expect it to be. And there's ongoing controversy, as there is with these things, usually, that it might be Lisbon, of course, because it's the capital. Porto with the sibling rivalry thing as well. And Braga, I think, makes a claim on that as well. But it depends which Portugal we're talking about. A typically Portuguese, it depends sort of answer. But generally speaking, I think people go with Guimarães on that one. So congratulations to you if you guessed that right. Ooh, this is a good one for this morning. Let me bring this onto the screen for you as well, so you can actually see me enter this and be the first to guess this morning. Portuguese citizenship test question. Oh no, hold on a minute. Can't do that. That'll give the answer away. Let me go to the right place. Or the Portugal Club. Have you been there recently? Do let me know if you have. And I'm just okay. Safe to go over there now. To the Portugal Club, gmpvip.com if you haven't been over there. And don't forget, it is absolutely free to take part now. There will be some paid tiers. I'll go to a freemium model, and for those who want to support the Portugal Club and the Good Morning Portugal endeavour, you'll be able to do that soon. I do like what Sam Ovens and the team are doing over at school. And if you looked at it a long time ago and thought, no, I'm not paying $99, or was it $90 to run a community site platform, well, the price is now €9 to create your own school platform, site, membership club. And I think they're going to go far with this. I think they're a great company. I think we're going to hear a lot more about them. 31 then, Portuguese citizenship test. Question number 31. Let me just pop that onto the screen there. What is the name of Portugal's sparkling wine? I think we know this one, don't we? Is it A, is it the Espumante? Is it B, the Licoroso? I'm not going to have time to put a meme up with this, am I? Is it B, Licoroso, or is it C, Colheita? If you do know the answer, you can still tell us what the other two are. Nearly give the game away again there. So that's a Portuguese citizenship test question 31. Just 69 more to go, folks. I'm going to post it right now over there at actually I'll give you the link directly to that as well if you want to go over and have a guess for yourself there. Is everyone feeling this kind of slightly laid back vibe this morning? I'll get into some news. Maybe that'll get people activated this morning as we look at some of the news. Although it's also a test in mindfulness, isn't it? Which way am I going to go? Am I going to get triggered, or am I going to see this as just information and we're not going to take it personally. Good guess, Adrian. Good morning to you, Adrian. How are you doing? I'm surprised you are here, and we haven't heard of a Christian Orthodox ceremony or festival. Yeah, Adrian, how's it going? When's the next upcoming important event in your religious calendar? Right, okay, so there you go. That's the Portuguese citizenship test, number 31 for you right there. Don't know the others, I'm afraid. Don't worry. We have the great Google Translate, do we not? Okay, well, the others are licoroso and colheita. Colheita, I think, is a harvest, is it not? Licoroso, I imagine, is a liqueur type of drink. Imbibement. I'm just trying to look for another word for drink. Bevy. Snifter. But I'm with you on this particular one there, Adrian. Okay, thank you, Antonio F. as well, with another addition to your criminal crime file, Portuguese crime file, which of course Antonio updates. And yes, actually we've got quite a lot of Portugal local election coverage as well there, if you want to catch up with that. Okay, just making sure the settings are all right this morning. And it was a bit, I looked at the replay yesterday, it was a bit stuttery. Hopefully that's better today. Let's get the local election thing out of the way. Let's go to some of George Branco's reporting, shall we? And just see what he's saying about the budget as well. And this 300 Days of Sunshine is back on the agenda. I need some help doing the math on that, as our American friends say here. But there you go. There's George Branco and the Portugal Weekly over on Substack. Having a huge Substack, I think I might go back to Substack now and revisit my resident articles over there and unpack them a little bit. I saw somebody. Oh, Dan Coe posted up a video of his. He's an interesting young fella, Dan Coe. I started up a personal growth, personal development thread on the Portugal Club as well, and I think he's making his prophecies about AI and the world in the next. Is it next? He gives these time scales. I guess they're clickbait for his videos, but a very interesting young man nonetheless. Great things to say about personal development, personal growth, and the bigger picture, the context in which we are growing and developing, and the big, I was going to say the threat of AI, but the big opportunity, certainly how he sees it. Big win for PSD then in local elections, and Shager falls short. Quick sip of tea. Mm-hmm. It is nice. It does feel different drinking out of a handmade mug. The minimalist budget with small tax break and the immigration crackdown sent to the president now for his promulgation, of course. Big win for PSD in the local elections. The Shager falls short. Prime Minister hails big victory in local elections. Social Democratic Party, PSD, is the big winner from the local elections, says George here, with Prime Minister Luis Montenegro declaring a victory across the board. There you go. I won't go into all of that. We did some of that yesterday. PSD, just give you the headlines this morning. PSD holds on to Lisbon and Porto. Lisbon Mayor Carlos Moedas has held on to control of the capital. He has his enemies. Quite a controversial character. Others think he's done amazing work for Lisboa, but he'll be leading a town half full of his opponents, Publico reports. While Alexandra Leitão couldn't unseat the incumbent, her coalition of PS Livre, Left Bloc, and People, Animals, Nature, PAN, elected 12 of 24 councillors. Even with a massive coalition like that, they were still unable to unseat Carlos Moedas there in the capital. Oh, it's an interesting quote there, perhaps. In Porto, Pedro Duarte, here we go, got up north, declared his intention to be not just the mayor of Porto, but also the new leader for the north of Portugal. That's bold and brave, isn't it? His PS, you think he'd have enough to do in Porto? He is self-declared new leader for the north of Portugal, presumably lobbying and pushing for more joined upness and less Lisbo-centrism, I suspect, as happens with capitals all over the world, it would appear. Here's PSD. This is Pedro Duarte. CDS, PP, and IL coalition will have the same number of councillors as PS, but he ruled out governing with Shager to break the deadlock. Duarte said he would combat centralisation rather than fight against Lisbon. Very interesting. I was chatting with some left-leaning activists from the United States, and they were saying they've got a bit of a pivot on their worldview, and they've realised they spent a lot of time fighting against. They wanted to vision and imagine as well a future they would like, rather than constantly being fighting against something, which I think is very smart. He would be pushing for a more cohesive country, not just running his town up there in Porto, his city. Schäger, on the other hand, in its second run at local elections, Schäger has taken control of its first three councils. Publico reports us again. The far-right party will lead Albufeira, his words, not mine, Entroncamento and Sal Vicente, relatively small councils with few voters. You can tell a far cry from the 30 municipalities under leader Andre Ventura had predicted at one stage. Yeah, he was going for 30, ended up with 3. Ventura said he's nothing if not adventurous, right? Ventura is the name. Said it was a good night, but not the victory we wanted. Well, it was good night. Only got 3, wanted 30. While better than nothing, while hailing a quadrupling of votes since 2021. A master of reframing as well. Then right there. So George Branco, let me put the link to that for you into the chat, so you can subscribe to that as well. Good reporting, I would say, generally speaking, there from George Branco, as is Portugal Decoded, which comes out on a Friday. Talking of good Substacks, and we put the cafe guide of Katia Lima, Beyond Lisbon, Katia Lima, in the Portugal Club. I think it prompted her possibly. A few of us were excited to be reminded about that. She has published part 2 of her Portuguese cafe guide. See, I think it's called a secret guide. I might find that for you before the morning show is out as well this morning. Must have tea. Yes, this cup is awesome, I have to say. Yes, everyone's a little bit possibly tired or not rushing around this morning. Let me put it that way. Bon dia alegria Gumpers from T-Duck just woke up. Stayed up late to watch Starship Flight number 11. Okay. Astronomical. Must have tea. Off to Lisbon to watch Portugal play this evening. Who are they playing, Henry? What's going on there? They've just had an Ireland game, have they not? In a World Cup qualifier. Can you bring me up to date with what's going on? And do I suspect that you have a joint allegiance now? England and Lisbon. Not Lisbon. I see. Off to Lisbon to watch Portugal play. So do you have a joint allegiance now, England and Portugal? Another gorgeous day in Lisbon. Weather's going to be good then, Henry, for you. 16 centigrade right now. Going up to 28. It's going to be another gorgeous, glorious day, autumnal day in Lisbon. Thanks. Yes, I will get back to that 300 days of sunshine thing. You're hungry. No, it is hungry. Dad joke right there on a plate. Dad jokes. Come on, where are they? It's been a while. So Portugal hungry, only a few days after playing Ireland. Am I right? And how's it going for Portugal? If you could be our impromptu football correspondent for the Portuguese national squad, that'd be great, Henry. Carl, thanks for the interest today. October the 14th. Oh, I see. Yes, let's see what you've done there. Is the feast of the protection of the Mother of God, Pokrov, veil in Russian, which celebrates the delivery of Constantinople from them pagans. Is that right? Have I got that right there? Portugal Ireland was a 1-0 victory. I saw Cristiano Ronaldo on a highlight on a TV in a bar, I think, of course, as you do, shaking his head and walking away. There was a fluffed goal opportunity. I think he hammered one in, and then a teammate didn't manage to finish it off when it bounced off the post. But it looks like Portugal beat Ireland anyway. And just a few days later are playing Hungary. Is it all to do with World Cup qualification at the moment, if you don't mind telling us that? And, Portugal versus Hungary at the Sporting Stadium. So some of us are going to hear the atmosphere. Piled everything from the kitchen and office into the lounge, ready for builders today. They aren't coming. Oh, no. Oh, dear. That can happen, Mel. So you moved everything for the builders who were coming today, but now Monday, that's quite the delay, isn't it? Grrr, house chaos. Oh, dear. Sorry to hear that. And Chris, thank you very much. Loving, Chris, your videos with the boogie tunes in the background. Have you got another one for us today? Another World Cup qualifier, play 3-1-3, going well. Nice one. Thank you for that, Henry. And on the land now, chopping wood for winter. And yes, burning off my annoyance. It's a good thing, isn't it, to have a wood pile to go at, to let off a bit of steam. Sorry to hear that, Mel, but yes, so typical in Portugal. Afraid so. Yes, World Cup qualifications. In other notes, it seems the team of Curaçao, the Dutch Antilles, has a big chance to enter the World Cup for the first time ever. Did I see Cabo Verde as well coming in for a bit of World Cup action? That's great. Thank you. You've got a bit of an interest in Curaçao, I believe, Matty. Is that from your time in the Netherlands, perhaps? Not the first time. I think you've mentioned Curacao in the chat. Right now, this thing. I need. Can someone bust open their calculator, please, and help us here? This is the sunshine. I mean, it's got to be official. It is World Geo Demo from Facebook, so it must be accurate, right? And we've got sunshine stats from all over the world. If I just bring that onto the screen. Oh, there's me. Have I shown you this picture before? There's me getting ready to eat the chocolate cup. Not a euphemism, I have to say. I should point out quite quickly. That's the ginginha being poured into the chocolate cup. I think Portugal's ecological drinking vessel solution. Just you don't have to wash up, you don't have to throw anything away. You just eat the whole thing with the sour cherry liqueur in there. I'm salivating just thinking about that. The cake that we had from the same establishment was a bit dry. I think it's meant to be, but pretty good, I think, along with the ginginha there. I'm seeing pictures that I may not have shared with you before. I did yesterday. Yeah, I showed you the picture of me and Gilles yesterday. But what I'm trying to bring to the screen, and yes, I need more Portuguese memorabilia behind me. I know it's looking bare. It looks like I'm in a potting shed. I have got things to pin up on here, but we're all very busy at the moment, are we not? Right. Okay. Let me bring onto the screen then this European. Global sunshine stats. Has somebody got their calculator ready, please, on their phone? Sunshine in US compared to murky Europe. How very dare you? And we can see a lot of the US. See, I imagine that we, in many ways, are hotter and brighter here in Europe than in the US. However, World Geo Demo is doing a comparison here. Sunshine in US compared to murky Europe. And I noted with interest that we have would this be hours of sunshine? 2,000. Here in Portugal, in certainly the lower 4/5, that looks like. Slightly less up in the north, in the Peneda Gerês and beyond Braga, possibly up there, and Villarreal, possibly. But let's go with the bigger figure, obviously, because I still have some skin in the game with this 300 days of sunshine thing that people associate with me. What is 2,500? Let's go for the top figure, 3,000, and that must be annual sunshine hours, must it not? What does that figure? Can somebody do the algebra on that? As you can hear, I'm in no fit state and never have been to do the number crunching on that. But if we are here in Portugal between the 2,500 to 3,000 hours of sunshine, would that be? Then does that give us 300 days of sunshine? Can someone extrapolate that for me without putting their back out? We're still having a look at the new EU bank transfer rules, which are now in effect. This could be useful to you. Let's see who are the gifted numbers people among us. Oh, check. No, that's not what I wanted to hear. Okay, so how many days, though? You've got to take that another stage further to give me the days of sunshine. I definitely don't want to hear that. There are some deserts in the USA. Okay, forget that. That is not supporting my narrative. I'm no longer interested. I have doubts about that map. I've spent most of my life. Yeah, me too. I think it's a rubbish map. Having should have had a look at that before committing it to the screen, perhaps. Philip P is with us this morning. Oh, and T Duck. I think you very kindly reposted our X transmission yesterday, which gave us some big uplift. Who doesn't like a big uplift first thing in the morning? So if you don't mind doing that again, we got a load more viewers from X as a result, I think, of your good work yesterday. And we have all our patio furniture in the living room because they took their time and didn't finish on Saturday, not coming back until Thursday. Calma, tranquilo. Bon dia from Vier Dominio. Philip P. Good to see you here. Do feel free to let us know more about yourself. You're very welcome here. You are among the newer Gumpers, it would appear. Yes, I have a connection with Curacao. For one, my girlfriend is born there, okay. But it was my primary immigration destination when I left Germany. But after 20 years of Amsterdam, I changed to Portugal. Very good. And Troncamento, meaning junction, is home of the brilliant National Railway Museum. I haven't been there. I'd love to go to that. I went there for Novament Brain injury survivors, the 2024 day out, well worth a visit. Nice one. That sounds like an interesting organisation, Adrian. You might come and talk to us about them one of these days. The Novament Brain Injury Survivors. Thank you very much. Nope, about 100. Well, that can't be right, can it? Rubbish. 150 days of sunshine. You reposted the transmission, I think, on X for us yesterday. It all depends on how many hours a day you need to call it sunshine. Is it no? Just a brief glimpse of the sun is fine by me. Just enough to sit in a chair and drink a cup of tea and feel a little bit sunburnt, which doesn't take long for me and my complexion. I think that 300 days is based on any day when the sun comes out for 30 minutes and only the Algarve. Thank you, Mel. Again, not fitting in with my narrative, so I'm no longer interested. Thank you very much. Global warming. Right. Okay, let's go to the new EU banking thing. Bring that onto the screen. This sounds important, doesn't it? Let's find out if it is or not. New EU bank transfer rules in full effect. Sound like okay. And we've got a selection of adverts. Anything embarrassing on here for the adverts that have been thrown up by Temu? USB adapters, something that slides under the bed to keep your blankets in, a winch. A man with a very hairy back. I don't know how Facebook would have discerned that about me, or Google Ads. Is that a bed with a fan? That could be interesting, couldn't it, at certain times? Pillowcase not included, however. Don't know what that is, if that's bed linen. It does look like a turbine at the end of the bed there, perhaps for a particularly heavy night of feijoa. Is that a screwdriver set? I think it might be. Hope so. Bottom right-hand corner. The most interesting thing on there, I mean, there's a couple of things. I don't know what they are. They look like air fryers. And a man shaving his back with a massive razor, which if you're having your breakfast, I can only apologize for. Not too bad, though. I have seen worse adverts served up to me. Let me just see if I can get rid of... Why this ad? It says there, ads by Google. A good question. Somebody scratching their head at a cash machine, a cash point, an ATM. Should I get rid of this massive advert here? I wonder what the stats are for people who are actually, just constantly faced by advertising, aren't you? Unless you get a different browser, of course, and other browsers will be recommended, I'm sure, in the chat now. But of all the advertising that flashes past human beings' eyes, how many of them do you think they actually refer to? I seem to recall direct mail, those campaigns back in the day when people used to send out envelopes to people with an offer. It was thought to be 1%, but it was worth it because it was so cheap to do. I'm sure with advertising, it must be a tiny fraction of that, with everything that gets thrown up, like literally vomited in front of your eyes, hoping to get you to buy something. How much of that do we really fall for or are informed or influenced by? New EU bank transfer rules in effect, and European rules on bank transfers are now in effect, promising to change the way Europeans move their money. It looks like they should be doing a little dance, perhaps. The European money move, everybody. The new European rules on instant bank transfers came on Wednesday, October the 9th. And now, public service announcement then, and now require all banks in the Eurozone. And I think we can count Revolut among them. Revolut were kind of offshore, were they not? But they had been headquartered and had offices in Portugal. And I think they're now an official Portuguese bank, which could be a game changer. They might be challenging the oldie dinosaurs of Portuguese banking. Let's see how that goes. Now requires all banks in the Eurozone to offer this service 24 hours a day. Transfers 7 days a week. From now on, transactions are faster, more secure, and include automatic verification of the recipient before the money leaves the account. Now, on the one hand, you're thinking, yay! And on the other hand, about time too. The banks must have the most advanced technology available to them. And then they've been kidding us for ages, haven't we? These transfers need be any longer than instantaneous. Anyway, finally, here we are. And with this new step, the European Union, EU, completes, everyone knows that now, don't they? Completes the second phase of its plan to modernize the payment system and strengthen consumer protection. The goal is simple: to allow any euro transfer to reach its destination in seconds. There's no reason why that shouldn't happen at any time and on any day of the year. It wasn't as if somebody was waiting to do it for you, right? They got an email like, oh, this person wants to transfer this, type all the numbers in. No, The measure applies to all banks, savings banks, and payment service providers that already offer standard SEPA bank transfers. They are expensive, though. That's what we want to find out. Are the SEPA transfers getting any cheaper? Let's read on and find out. Those that did not yet offer the service had to update their IT systems to comply with the new regulation. And I hear that some of the bank systems are horrendous behind the scenes. They must have some of the best security. You would hope so, wouldn't you? Or at least claim to, or are trying to. So there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to do this instant transfer thing. And I think it probably was a stretch for some of them to make this happen, but they have to now. The main new feature is the introduction of so-called beneficiary verification. Again, that shouldn't be that difficult, should it? Before the transfer is completed, the system confirms that the recipient's name matches the IBAN entered. Wow. Well done, everybody in banking technology. If there is any discrepancy, the customer is immediately notified and can decide whether or not to proceed according to a report by Postal. That's an interesting name because I think Postal means something quite different. It's not the name of a consultancy, is it? It's the name of a condition in America. The verification is free and applies to both instant and traditional transfers. The idea is to reduce typing errors and prevent fraud using fake or manipulated IBANs. According to the Bank of Portugal, this measure strengthens payment security and increases user confidence in digital services. Contrary to popular belief, oh, there's the hairy back man again. Look away now, if that might offend you. European law does not, that's a hell of a razor though, it does not require banks to offer free instant transfers, but rather to charge the same price or less than they charge for standard SEPA transfers. So transactions should happen in under 10 seconds. It's the end of the single limit of 100 grand as well. Each institution can now set its own limits. You can't, but the institutions can by the sound of it. So there you go. Let's not look at those clickbait adverts of old actors who now look hideous. I mean, I'm not saying they are hideous. I'm just saying that they find the most hideous pictures to make you click on those ads. But there you go. That's the basics there for the new EU bank transfer rules in effect. After we've had a little chat with Bobby O'Reilly this morning, we're going to pop to Herdad de Mayo. Do you remember we used to see Bobby a lot? We used to visit Herdad de Mayo quite a bit and find out what was going on there. We've had a little bit of a lull in that because I think as the groundwork was completed and the basic shells of the homes were made, there was a period of quite a lot of intense building and not much to see. However, he unveiled his show home. An Englishman and an Irishman went into a show home on Friday. And I've got a little video conversation with Bobby. It's great to see him. Food was very good as well, I have to say. If it is 30 minutes a day, I have 350 days of sunshine. Yes, there you go. That's what I wanted to hear. Epic and brave. Thank you. I don't know if that's a personal review or the browsers that we were mentioning there where you get fewer adverts. It will flag to every company. No name matches the business name. Who knows the business name of their local shop also. Okay, so you're foreseeing difficulties possibly with that new bank transfer system. It is. I've seen it on, when you put an IBAN into an ATM, it does come up very helpfully with the name of the company. I found that helpful actually, Mel, but you might be right because with a local shop, although it might say something like on the outside, the Acme Padaria, their trading name might not be that. So if you were to transfer something to them on the IBAN, it might be like, Vibrating Flamingo LDA or something like that. So I'll take your point on that. Okay, let's roll that VT and give me a chance to have a sip of my tea. And a little conversation I had with Bobby. Very pleased, delighted to have caught up with Bobby on Friday. He's a busy boy, not only building 70 homes with some very nice lines. I didn't manage to make the video I wanted to make. Very busy weekend. But I did photograph some incredible lines at these beautiful homes of his at Herdad de Mayo. In the middle of building 70 homes there, got involved in the Vista Bay project as well, which I think will have 500 homes as part of it, and all sorts of amazing other features, a ferry port, a hotel. Incredible work that Bobby's doing. And we'll have a look at Carl. I think we'll go out with Carl Hyde's. If you're interested in Herdad de May and what's going on there and what it looks like now, we'll make that our closing video, as we did last night for Find Your Home in Portugal, our new Monday evening service for helping people, guess what, find their homes in Portugal. So here's me chatting with Bobby. The Englishman and the Irishman walk into a show home. The thing is, though, the show home turns out is yours, Bobby. Yeah. Congratulations. There's the model behind us, the Herdad de Mayo model, but we're actually sat inside one of the homes, the first, really, the show home.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, congratulations. It is so nice to see it at this stage, to walk about, and I'll splice in some interior shots because the lines of this development, of this property, this building are fabulous. How's it been? How's it going?
It's been tough. it's been a sleepless week,
right?
Trying to get it ready. So
yes.
Yeah, no, we wanted to get the show house open.
Let's get you further into the shot. There we go.
Yeah, we wanted to get the show house open for this week.
Yeah,
and we sort of put the guys on the ground under a bit of pressure to make sure that they got it together.
Yeah.
We're still doing finishing touches, as you saw.
It's development show business, isn't it?
Yeah. So people are actually seeing the work in progress, as it's going on. So they're fitting the glass now upstairs on the balcony, which is sort of the last major part of this show house to be done. As you see, it's fully furnished inside and out. So you can see the garden, you can see the swimming pool, you can see how much room you have here.
Well, you get a sense of what it's going to be like to live here, right?
Exactly, and how comfortable it is, and how big it is, and how open it is. So I think what people really appreciate more is also the smart functionalities of the houses. As I was saying, there's over 50 objects attached to the smart home system. Mm-hmm. So if you're into having your smart home on your phone, this is a great house to have. But I like the switches myself.
So the kids are going to be running the house?
Yes, exactly.
Well, it's fantastic, and it looks like, as we discussed before, people were very interested, but they're definitely putting their money where their mouths and their minds are, right? There's a lot of interest. People are buying the houses.
Yeah, like we've 40 now sold.
Fantastic.
Out of 70, and we've over 60 reservations this weekend of people that have shown interest before, that have come to view the house with the idea of making a reservation. So I expect to sell probably 20 houses more or less out of this weekend from the people to come. I think tomorrow will be the big day. Because I think there's something like 40 out of that 60 are booked in tomorrow. So that'll be an interesting day.
Busy day in Portugal on Sunday. It's the elections, isn't it? So I think your busy day will be tomorrow. Talking of elections and localities, this has been quite the splash, as we've talked about before, in Sejal, in this particular district, south of the river, south of Lisbon. How is that going? Because Sejal must be thinking, wow, this guy means business. This is amazing, the imprint he's creating here.
Well,
and your team, of course.
I don't know about how they feel, but I think they like the idea that we're bringing foreign direct and local investment into Seychelles. Mm-hmm. And as I said before, it's a strategic location for us to continue to invest into. Because we believe by adding value to what's already here, just helps to increase the experience of living in Seychelles as well. The fact that it's just across the water from Lisbon, and it has lots of accesses into Lisbon itself, it's only minutes from it, I think is a huge benefit. But also what's around Seychelles itself, from the South Bank side with regards to, like, say, Fontatelia is 10 minutes from here. You also have what I call the wine country in Pamela, is only a few minutes away from here as well.
Caparica, that people will know.
Exactly, Costa de Caparica. You have the Sierra de Jabida, Troya. I recently bought a boat myself, which is
like you do
in Stubble, and I was out every weekend I could, and the dolphins are dancing around us as we go.
Fantastic.
And it's just an amazing lifestyle. So it's you have Lisbon, you have the main city features, but also you have all the extra activity that's around you that already existed here, that we're adding on to.
And catch a train or a ferry to the other side of the water. Exactly. And it seems like, that was obvious to you, over 10 years ago, the potential of this side of the water.
Yes.
Are people catching up now?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
No, it's the drop in the middle of the lake, if you know what I mean. The ripples that move out Lisbon, forcing people out because of price points and etc. and so on. But Seychelles was the first ripple, if you know what I mean. So it was always the south side for me. Was always the area where people could actually get value and improve and get capital appreciation as an investor, or as an area that was going to be developed for its environment and the activities that were happening around it. So it was always a focus for me from 10, 12 years ago.
Superb. Well done. It's lovely. We've been talking about it for a long time, haven't we? We've seen it come out of the ground.
Yeah.
Saw the first shells of houses, and now we're seeing a near finished show home here, and you get a real sense. So people could come and see you this weekend. But I mean, the show home's open
7 days now.
7 days a week. Okay.
7 days a week now, but I would come quick because.
By the sound of it, okay.
I don't believe there'll be many left. I'd say we will be sold out by Christmas.
Well done. Congratulations to you and the team. And well done, Sejal, as well. This is on the up and up, isn't it? I mean, it's always been a great place. You've always seen that, but it's all coming together here in this incredible treasure just south of the river. Very easy to get to. I drove over in about 25 minutes from town, I think, as well. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant location. So well done to you and all the team and Claudio here. And we look forward to the next update, will we? Cheers, mate. Very good. Oh, hold on a minute. A little bit more. Yeah, there we go. That's what it's going to look like. Superb. Great to chat with Bobby. Always good fun. Put on a good spread last Friday. And I'm sure he's right. I'm sure a lot of people went on Saturday and put their money down, paid their deposits, ready for the proper launch of another party. Yay! See you there. Ahead that de Mayo in this sometime. Probably what will that be? Yeah, I think spring of next year, perhaps. We were there early on. It is really easy to access. Yes, we were, weren't we? We did a live stream from there, and I saw a still from that. We've changed since then, it has to be said. Cheers, Chris, for sending me your latest video. I'll give that a spin as well. Morning, Pete, as well. Hope your commute, Chris, and coffee were good this morning. How much are you paying for a coffee in the UK this morning, Chris? Morning, Matty. How are you and the dogs? Peter, what has it meant to you being part of your local political machinery? Have you been given your jobs to do for the next 4 years yet? I imagine there are a few sore heads where they're not on Monday, and I guess everyone's getting round to business and figuring out how they're going to run things in the next little while. Okay, I'm going to have a look at a couple of interesting, well, they're certainly interesting to me. If there's something that attracts your interest, let me know. Here on the Portugal News, we're going to take a look at the Portugal Resident as well. Here, empowered startups and the future of innovation in Portugal. It reminds me that I've been invited to host a fireside chat when Web Summit is on. Thank you to Stuart Noakes of Canopy. I'm going to be talking to a UK startup who are coming over to Portugal for a Web Summit and talking to them about how they got into business. They assist charities in the UK in getting extra support. So we're looking forward to that. There's always quite the buzz in Lisbon when Web Summit is happening. It wasn't that particular story I was going to read, however, although it's always interesting to read about startups and innovation in Portugal. And Portugal, I think, hosts this sort of atmosphere very well, certainly in Lisboa, in Porto, and, co-working spaces all around the country. They pop up in the most unusual of places. Long may that spirit of innovation entrepreneurship be supported here in Portugal. I thought this said Cristiano launches new sports bras, quite honestly, which is a little bit traumatic for me. Trigger warning, because more ladies apparel and some cats now looking at mobile phones on my adverts. But that was it felt like being back at school when I played rounders only a year or two ago here in Caldas de Rainha. And as I was making my home run, someone shouted out with some friendly banter, "Sports bra!" Yes. You think you put that sort of thing behind you, don't you, when you leave school? But no, there are still grown men. You know who you are, shouting out such slurs and bants. Inverse by CR7, Cristiano, of course, is the new brand presented by Pestana CR7 Lifestyle Hotels, which aims to elevate the sports bar. If it was sports bra, the sports bras will have been elevated to another level. with the use of some NASA-inspired or Elon-inspired underwiring. More than a space to watch sport. How can you elevate a sports bar to another level? Don't people just want to have a TV on with sport on it and then get a drink? So let's find out how this has been elevated to another level before we find out about the presidential hopefuls. Because Ventura is running for president as well. More than a space to watch sporting events, Inverse by CR7 is an entertainment venue where gastronomy, signature cocktails, added value, music, and a continuous schedule of events intersect, according to a press release reported by Echo, with an identity designed to be uniform and recognizable anywhere in the world. The new brand has 4 locations: Lisbon, Funchal, Madrid, and Marrakesh. Wow! All translating the same global energy, although each space reflects the soul and flavor of each location. You do want some top notes of Marrakesh if you've gone to the trouble, right? Oh dear, what's happened to that person there? They don't look at all well. I don't want to see that when I'm trying to read my news stories out. The venues feature a standard menu created by executive chef Borja Vegullas of Pestana Gran Via Madrid, but in each city, exclusive dishes. It's a sports bar, isn't it? With expensive food and cocktails, right? The menu includes gastronomic offerings such as the goat burger. Now, I'm assuming that is greatest of all time and doesn't have or include Ronaldo steaks or goat for that matter, or signature cocktails like the Ballon d'Or, the Fair Play cocktail. This is being pushed to its absolute eye-watering limits, is it not? The play on the sports bar and Cristiano Ronaldo themes. The offering is complemented by an exclusive musical curation. That would be a DJ. DJ Michael C. Yeah, the DJ Michael C. With his commitment. With this commitment, Pestana CR7 Lifestyle Hotels reinforces its position as an internet. That sounds like it's lifted directly from the press release. I know, I've written such things. But anyway, suffice to say, Cristiano Ronaldo is launching more sports bars, not bras. And they're trying to find more new and interesting ways to extract more money out of you while you're watching a game, where most of us, I think, will be happy with a bowl of peanuts or tremosos and an imperial, quite frankly, and then having spent less than €10 for an entire evening, maybe less than 5, depending on your appetite. Okay, I can smell the goat burger now, says Pete. Enough to make you vegetarian. I prefer a small neighborhood sports bra. Okay, bar. Okay, they just crawled in from the balcony. Who did? Okay. I think I need to go. I need to whiz back a little. In the in the. Pete, it was awful what the commute was. Yeah, just going back a little bit before we talk about the presidential hopefuls here in Portugal. My goodness, turn my back for a moment, and I've missed a load of comments here. Let's have a look at these. Okay, sorry to hear that, but you were compensated with a free coffee, maybe at work, so you don't bother to stop off at Starbucks and spend 15 quid on a coffee and a cake. Then, Chris, not even for an autumnal spiced Halloween latte. Sore heads were this morning. Half our group had gone to Fatima, which did look amazing, but the drinks were flowing in the association bar last night. I didn't realise we were the only parish to win for our party. Well done on that. And our local independents here, very gracious in defeat, onward and upward. And I think one of the chaps who was working on the street yesterday outside the president's house, funny enough, was saying that there was going to be collaboration, I think, between some of the best people in the town here. That's how it should be, right? Just because you got beat doesn't mean you need to stop taking part in local affairs. And I think that they represented themselves very well, the new independent party, Pradient, here in San Martino de Porto. Okay. Yeah, we're all sorry to hear about your coffee, Chris. How to elevate a sports bar, put it on the first floor instead of the ground floor. Done. They need you in their development team at Pestana, clearly. Put the bar on a rooftop. Yes, those are my favorite. And yeah, then look at the view and not the game. You need to get those collars from the original Running Man. Okay. This is Dog Control over at Matty's place. They just crawled in from the balcony. What's that? Is that the people who've had one too many on the rooftop? Yeah, absolutely with you. The small neighborhood sports bars. Yeah, we call that a cafe here. That is so true, is it not? Tremosos, Imperial, boom, done. That's all we need. Thank you very much, Pestana, for laying all of that on. And I'm sure Cristiano Ronaldo is very happy with the work you've done. But we're happy with our little bowl of tremosos, maybe a few peanuts and an Imperial. 15 euros for coffee and cake at Starbucks. You must have a coupon. You must be mad. Bon dia, T-Duck. And Solar Life Pete from Jackie, who's just where you been, Jackie? Don't go to Starbucks. Go home after a trip to. Yeah, absolutely. Brew your own. Got to be better than Starbucks, isn't it? The only time I drink a Starbucks is when I'm at Lisbon Airport, and then I only have an Americano with them. Morning, Jackie. Hope you're enjoying the sun. Yeah, how's it going, Jackie? It's cold, yeah, guys. That's my Welsh accent. That is. It's cold, yeah. How are you doing, Jackie? Let us know if we can help you, of course. And finally, then this morning, let's have a look at Gouvier y Mello. It wasn't the coffee on the public transport. It was men. Oh dear, we don't need to hear about that, do we? But happy memories of commuting in London. What a contrast. There you are, 1 minute. Let's show you. On a beach here in Portugal. Oh, hold on a minute. I've got to share that screen so that we can see Chris's latest video here. And feel the contrast for Chris here. 1 minute he's in the Algarve enjoying himself. Next thing, he's on a commuter train when he's facing someone's armpit. Where is it, Chris? I'm sharing a screen, I think, here, aren't I? Yes, YouTube. Capricorn 12, everybody, if you want to subscribe to Chris's YouTube channel. We had a bit of beach therapy. We had some Algarve beach nights. And there's one of his shorts, I think, about Ryanair delays. You can bank on those, can you not? But let's click on this button and hear the latest. I can watch all day. Thank you very much. Hold on a minute. Thank you very much for that, Chris. You had some good times, did you not? And sorry to torture you like that. There you are back in Blighty, and I'm showing you the highlights of your most recent visit to Portugal. Red wine, oysters, Superboc Preto. Living the dream there, mate. Nice bottle of red. Yummy to the oysters there from T-Duck. Yeah, no, not reading that out, Pete. I like oysters, I have to say. So, yes, finally then this morning, thanks for hanging out with me this morning. Much appreciated. A leisurely one this morning on this cool autumnal morning here on the Silver Coast. It sounds like the weather's better in Central and Lisbon. Warm already. Gouvier Mello, Marques Mendes and Ventura in a technical tie for the presidency then, according to the Portugal resident. Portugal's third election contest this year surges back into focus. Is this happening this year, or is it in the early months of next year? Anyway, let's find out now. The dust hasn't even settled on last night's municipal elections. This reporting by my favourite Natasha Don over at the Portugal resident. But focus is already shifting to the third and final election contest for 2025. So it is happening. This one for the presidency actually ends in the new year. Actually, maybe not then. And with voting, I think over a 12-month period, we've had 3 elections, have we not? And a few contests within the contest as well, because the local elections were 3 ballot papers, of course. Actually ends in the new year with voting in January and the winner taking office in March. But the razzmatazz is already beginning with certainly Gouvier y Mello leaning heavily on a social media campaign which delivers little clips on a regular basis. He's obviously got a good agency. In spite of this, however, according to Correia de Manhã, the candidacies of Gouvier y Mello, the independent, Luís Marques Mendes, PSD, and André Ventura, which party is that again? Yes, Chega, are neck and neck, or as the description in Portugal goes, at a technical tie. Okay, that's a political thing, surely. It's not a Portuguese idiom, is it? At a technical tie. Losing steam. Do you know what? I'm going to make this screen a little bit bigger here for all of our sakes. Losing steam. Did I have it on I must have been doing a screenshot. Okay, 100%. We're back at 100%. Losing steam, if indeed there ever has been any in the presidential race. Antonio José Seguro, the former PS leader, with whom the PS itself has not yet managed to endorse as its party candidate for the presidency. This factor may not have helped Mr. Seguro with a name like Seguro, you think he'd be safe, would you not? Well, hey, whose chances have him in fourth place, but well behind the first three. Otherwise, the remaining contenders are well out of the current front running. Iniciativa Liberal's former leader, Coutrinho de Figueiredo, Bloco de Esquerdas, the Doc's been quiet. Left Bloc Doc. They got a trouncing, didn't they, just recently in the local elections? Bloco de Esquerda's former leader, Catarina Martins, and PCP MP Antonio Felipe are all on single-figure percentages in terms of popularity. Must be miserable being them. From current forecasts, they're just like a figurehead of their party, aren't they? Going for presidential supremacy and getting single-figure percentages. That's a bit grim. From current forecasts, what does seem fairly likely is that these will be elections that are not decided on the first ballot scheduled for January the 18th. And again, according to CM, of the various hypotheses floated, who doesn't like a floating hypotheses first thing in the morning? Gouvier Mello comes out winning them all, even in a duel against, I think that should be DUEL, against Luis Marques Mendes, the seasoned politician. Imagine him covered in a bit of paprika. The seasoned politician who insists the president must have a political background. Gouvier Mello, of course, he's a military man, and he spearheaded Portugal's vaccination program. I think that's his most notable kind of CV item, being a naval man and the COVID commando, as it were, or commandant. The beauty of Gouvier Mello's apolitical stance is that he's receiving support from voters. Apolitical, probably not. Not directly related to a political party, yes, but I'm sure the man has a political stance of some sort. He is receiving support from voters from both traditional main parties, PS and PSD, and is even preferred by 16% of Shaker voters. So Andre Ventura, I think, is probably already working on his reframing of losing this one. Perhaps the most remarkable detail emerging from polls taken up till now is that only 45% of traditional PSD voters say they will be voting for Luis Marques Mendes, while only 29% of PS voters want to endorse, I think that should be. This one wasn't very well proofed. Antonio José Seguro. On that basis, and I'm no one to talk, I'm not criticising, I'm just pointing out that I nearly read endure when it should have been endorse, which would be very different meanings for poor old Senor Seguro. On the basis that voting will go to a second ballot, CM puts the likely date for this as February the 8th. Elections in Portugal, they go on and on and on, folks. As for the main messages coming from the principal candidates, Gouvier Mello's is, it is time for a break from the past, something a great deal more presidential. Snappy. Marques Mendes is that the presidency has no time for shots in the dark experimentalism. Yes, we need a stable hand on the tiller in these times, i.e. needs a seasoned politician like himself. Funny that. Ventura's message is it change? I will represent freedom from cronyism and living on political subsidies. Can't argue with that. While Antonio José Seguro says the country needs a mobilizing project, a direction, and a strategy. Yes, from the man who seems to be doing worst of all four there, that is a pretty good post to be what do they call it, a stump to be campaigning on. The country needs a mobilizing project, a direction, and a strategy. Very, very good, very true. Commenting on the result of the polls today, CM's deputy editorial director Eduardo Damaso says that PS socialists have to endorse Seguro this week or pull their preferred choice out of a hat pronto, as the dithering on this score is not helping either Mr. Seguro or the party. So come on, PS, do your thing and choose your candidate, and we'll watch this unfold. It looks like Gouvier Mello is going to be the man for the job, does it not? But let's revisit that in the future. When else can we? We have more elections in January. What, those or others, Peter? And what did I miss here? I'm not reading that. T-Duck not going to the UK. Is it the 15 quid coffee and cake, or is it something else? And I think I can give it a miss reading. Yeah, good oysters are awesome. That's what I'm going to leave as the final oyster comment. Good oysters are Are awesome. Are awesome. Thank you very much, as I said, for your company this morning. Lovely to hang out with you and ease our way into this terça-feira, the 14th of October. Back again tomorrow. Who's joining us tomorrow? Let's have a quick look and see who's with us. Oh, don't click that button. That would take us out of the studio right here and crash the show. It wouldn't be the first time, of course. No, not that one. I am looking for the monthly calendar, which tells us that, we have Raquel and Nuno tomorrow. So we'll get the a Portuguese view on life. Authentic, real Portuguese people. Pinch them and they scream out loud in Portuguese. Always enjoy talking to those two. So Raquel and Nuno. And I can thank Raquel live on air for getting our company started. Finally, we have an LDA here in Portugal, and things are hotting up with that. So yeah, thanks very much indeed. Now, I did promise you another visit to Herda de Meia and Carl Hyde's video here of said place. I wonder if I can find it now. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to add the file. Yes, I can do that. So we'll go out with that this morning, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day, whatever it is you're doing here in Portugal. And as soon as Carl Hyde's video does load, which seems to be taking a very long time, I'll give it a spin on the here we go, as our outro for this morning. So take that one off and add this one here, and yes, show home ready according to Carl Hyde. Cheers, Carl. Thanks, everybody. Muito obrigado a todos e adiós e até amanhã.
I'm at the Herdade do Meio development in Amora, and I've known about this project for about 2.5 years. Still some construction going on, but we have our very first show home ready, so let's take a look inside. Now, I've visited this development several times in the past few years, and I've seen it in various stages of construction. So it's great to finally have a finished home to help people visualize what their home could look like. So just a quick overview, as this little video really can't do this place justice. This is a new sustainable residential community just outside Lisbon. It's made up of 70 smart villas, each with either 3 or 4 bedrooms. Many of those are already sold. Each villa is energy self-sufficient, powered by solar panels with battery storage, and equipped with smart home technology for lighting, climate and security. Every home includes an EV charging point and features a private garden with swimming pool. If you'd like to learn more, please feel free to reach out.